Hello, this is Trainboy9705 and you are watching a Northwestern special. The steam engine for its type is the fastest land vehicle. And the steam team are the power behind freight and express services that make up the Northwestern Railway. This is the Northwestern Adventures. The years leading up to the Second World War were pretty uneventful for Sodor. After the incident with Eagle and Timothy was over, things basically went back to normal. The same can't be said for the rest of the world. It finally got bad enough that war broke out between Britain and Germany on September 1, 1939. Just a few days later, all the standard gauge engines, along with 10 cents, Grand Prix and Stefano were called for a meeting at Brenham Docks. The meeting was being held by Mickey and Emily about war safety, and if France were to be conquered by Germany, they needed 2 volunteers to evacuate the big cities of Sodor in Britain. Gordon and James were the engines that volunteered for the job. The time from September 1939 to May 1940 was bad for Europe. Germany's army was winning battle after battle. During that time, Sodor and Britain were preparing for a possible invasion. One day in June 1940, Gordon had finished his morning express train when he was sent to Vicarstown for a special assignment. Once the 2 engines saw each other, they both knew exactly what was going on. Then came Sir Topham Hatt. "Sir, is it true? Has France surrendered to Germany?" "Sadly, yes. That means it's only a matter of time before the Germans reach Britain. You 2 have volunteered to help evacuate the big cities of Britain." "Help?" "Yes. You 2 aren't alone in this dangerous job. I also sent Mickey and Emily there to help. Make your country proud." When Gordon and James got to the big city, they saw a surprise. There were 3 Great Western engines right there. "Hey look, James. Fan service." "Wait a minute, Wendell. Sir Topham Hatt didn't say you would be here." "What can I say? The man likes surprises. Anyway, I would like to introduce you to my friends Montague and Oliver. We are here to shun your coaches. I just don't understand why we can't pull some of the trains ourselves. There's a lot of people to evacuate from this city. And only a few engines." "Speaking of engines, where are Emily and Mickey?" "We've been here the entire time." "Oh. I didn't see you there."
It's okay, Gordon. It's actually very brave of you 2 to be risking your lives to protect others.
They have been doing this for about 2 weeks and they were getting the train ready when they heard warplanes in the sky. Gordon, James, Montague, Oliver, Mickey, Emily and Wendell had never dealt with an air raid since the war began. They had to hurry when taking the trains as the German planes were closing in. For Gordon, Wendell, Montague, and Oliver, this was the first war that these engines would get involved in. Gordon panicked and accidentally left his coaches behind. The destruction thankfully didn't harm any of the engines, but the people inside Gordon's train were not as lucky. Every single person on that train died that day. The day in question was July 6, 1940. Gordon was completely destroyed emotionally by this. Meanwhile, things on Sodor were going similar to what was happening in Britain. Sir Topham had found Eagle 4 and Eagle 5 and decided to fire them up and give them the names Winston and Red Max. He also made a deal with the owner of the England Heritage Railway, also known as the railway which bought Craven in 1935. The deal was that the owner of the EHR owned Winston and Red Max, but they would be on the NWR until the war was over. Then the 2 engines would be sold to be the second and third engines to work on the line. After the air raid, the others noticed that James, Emily and Oliver were nowhere to be seen. They feared the worst, and after a few days, they all thought the 3 engines were destroyed in the raid. Then Montague showed up to the sheds. I learned what happened to James, Emily, and Oliver. They were sent to another town to evacuate. I heard from the boss that he wants Gordon to help them and the rest of us to finish evacuating this city. Then Gordon left to find the 3 engines. Gordon found Emily and James chatting in a nearby engine shed with a few other engines. So I travel 20 miles just to see you flirting in a time of war? What? No. It's not like that, Gordon. Tell them guys. I think they would be the perfect couple. Right Dee? Right Donnie? Whatever. Where's Oliver? Shunting the next train at the station. Okay. Just be glad that not much bad can happen to us now. But Gordon was very wrong. July of 1940 was the beginning of the battle for Britain, where the Germans and the British were fighting over who would take control of the country. This went on until June 1941. In March of 1941, America began supplying the Allies with important materials. Our story continues in June of 1941, which was at the tail end of the Battle of Britain. I can't handle another train. Consider yourself lucky. You've only been shunting empty coaches. When will this war be over already? It's been almost 2 years and I don't think Germany's going to be stopped anytime soon. Good news. What is it, Wendell? I heard that they're sending another engine from Sodor to help us shunt these trains. Finally. We've been doing this for over a year and only now they decide to send more help. When is this engine going to get here? Today actually. Here he comes now. Neil? Why would they send the oldest engine on Sodor to help us shunt heavy trains? Because I was the only one available. Who are you calling old? I can handle heavy trains. Back when I was still a part of the Sodor and Mainland Railway, I was the strongest of me and my brothers Matthew and Clive. I am just as strong now as I was 85 years ago. Watch me shunt those coaches to this platform. I would like to watch this. Before Neil could move, the air raid sirens started. I hope it's just a drill. Guess not. The German planes set the station on fire. Everyone get out of here. Those tankers are gonna explode. Then Neil did the dumbest thing he could do. He went inside the burning station. Are you crazy, Neil? You'll get us all killed. That's a risk I'm willing to take. so he quickly dragged those fuel tankers away from the station just in time. Neil single-handedly saved about 50 lives that day with his quick thinking. He sure showed Gordon wrong. The others gladly accepted Neil into the evacuation group. Meanwhile on Sodor, the Skarloey and Mid-Sodor railways started helping out the Northwestern Railway by mining coal and other materials since they started rationing materials in Britain. Meanwhile Thomas, Eagle and Adam were at Vicarstown station. Can you guys believe it's been exactly 1 year since Gordon, James, Mickey, Wendell and Emily left to evacuate the big cities of Britain? No, I cannot. I hope Neil is also okay there. I heard that the city of London had just been bombed. You haven't heard? Heard what? He actually saved the lives of tons of people by getting some oil tankers out of there. That's cool. Glad to see my former rival is doing great in these hard times. Is that? Oh no. No way that this is no drill. They only attacked London yesterday. It's real. In the distance the four engines saw Stafford going slowly. He's doomed. There's no way Stafford's gonna make it through this. Not if I have anything to say about it. If Neil can save lives, then so can I. Then Adam left the safety of Vicarstown sheds to rescue Stafford. Adam. What are you doing? Rescuing Stafford. I'm here to save you. He then gave Stafford a big push to Vicarstown station. Everyone wishes that Adam returned safely to Vicarstown station. But nobody is spared when it comes to war. The Wellsworth and Sudbury's No. 3 was completely destroyed in the raid. Lily and Eagle were completely devastated by this. Gordon, James, Mickey, Emily and Wendell soon returned to Sodor because the Battle of Britain was over. In December of 1941, America joined the war. In the spring of 1942, the country began supplying Britain with steam engines. One of these engines just so happened to be sent to work on Sodor. One day Eagle was returning after a long day taking passengers around. Then he saw the engine. Who are you?
I'm Rosie. I'm shunting here for a few days and then I'm going to be sent to work on the Farquhar branch line.
Eagle and Rosie then spoke like old friends until Percy showed up. Sir Topham Hatt wants all the engines at the docks right now. So Eagle, Percy and Rosie went to the docks to see what Sir Topham Hatt wanted. Sir Topham Hatt has called an engine meeting at Brendam docks. As you would know, the war situation is getting pretty bad. That's why I was told to get 8 volunteers to fight on the front lines. Then an overwhelming wave of engines wanting to volunteer happened. The 8 engines that were chosen were Thomas, Lady, Eagle, Lily, Edward, Henry, and Gordon. They left for Africa the next morning. There was a huge party. Some of the engines got too crazy and pushed Wendell off into Bulstrode. There were sad goodbyes between Percy and Lily. Before they left, a man asked Edward, Henry and Gordon about their early days on the NWR. The stories the engines told them would become the first book in the railway series, and the man was Wilbert Awdry himself. The engines left and a group of whistles and horns cheered the 8 engines as they vanished on the horizon.